Hello, I'm Penny Melville-Brown from Baking Blind. I don't see at all. I can't even tell whether it's light or dark. But I don't let anything stop me from getting the very best out of life, as you can see from all the videos of me cooking around the globe. My last Sunday in Kiama. It was supposed to be a really relaxed barbecue with some of the neighbours of our hosts Ken and Rosemary. But it didn't turn out like that at all. I should have guessed when we spotted neighbour Eddie digging what looked like a grave hidden at the side of his house. And later it was all fire and smoke. Eddie filled the hole with kindling and logs, and then he set fire to it.
I'll bring some more wood.
Do you do this often?
No, because the neighbour complained too much.
But now the neighbours are coming for lunch. Yeah. we could do it.
Yeah.
We've got some lamb and it's in a plastic bag because Eddie's been marinating it. And what else? You've got some chopped onion in there.
Yeah.
And you've slashed it quite deeply, haven't you?
Yeah.
And what else have you got in here?
It's actually a shoulder with a bone in it, and I just slashed it right to the bone at this very rough and square, and back and front, and we've got some chopped onion, very rough chopped onion, and a few chopped tomatoes, and some cumin powder, and a lot of salt, with lime, a lot of lime. And all these things is not going to be cooked together. We soak it into this material, and then we're going to drain it off the lime and that, and then we wrap it up in an aluminium bag, and we're going to bury it with the fire.
You're going to bury it in the ground?
In the ground with the fire.
How exciting!
And I don't know how it's going to come out, but we cross fingers in this weather, not going to rain, otherwise it's going to turn the fire off.
The marinade was poured off, and then the lamb, with some of the remaining onions and tomatoes, was wrapped in wet cloth, then fig leaves, and finally in cooking foil. The foil parcel went into the fire pit on a bed of charcoal, was topped with more charcoal, and then the soil was shoveled back on top. Eddie moved on to the doner kebabs, and I was allowed to chop the herbs.
Eddie, how fine do you want this parsley?
Not very fine.
How's that?
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
And what are you doing now?
I'm watching.
And we've got some chilies to go in there.
Yeah, what I'm doing, I'm putting some black ground pepper into the meat.
And this is the minced beef?
This is the minced beef, a 3 kilo minced beef.
Wow, how many people are you feeding?
And 1 kilo of lamb.
Oh, right, that's
because
a really good combination.
You're gonna mix like 80% and 20% beef and lamb.
Why
mostly
is that?
Beef, mostly beef, a little bit lamb. More flavor of the oil of the lamb.
Yeah, a bit of
because
fat.
the beef a little bit dry and like, you know. Very roughly right into inside.
Right into the inside.
And squeeze it.
And squeeze it.
Squeeze it. Smash it. Wow. Yeah, we take a mincemeat size of tennis ball, just in the size of your hand that you'll be comfortable with.
Yep.
All right. Fill it to your hand.
Yep.
All right. You're trying to make it the tube.
A tube?
Yeah. You do
like a sausage?
Yeah. Like a sausage, exactly. And you get the sword right from the bottom.
And push it on?
Push it on right away along. And then you wet your hand.
Yep.
You got to make a longer sausage.
Yeah, I mean, this is much better than just making ordinary kebabs, isn't it?
Yeah.
How far down the sword am I trying to go?
As far as you can go.
Okay. So lots of swords.
Lots of sword we're having. We're going to fill them all up with meat. But more you play with it, the oil will stick to the sword, will separate the meat of the sword. When you cook it, the meat will fall off.
I'm with you. So
yes.
We don't want to handle it too much.
Yeah.
The swords went onto the barbecue. Eddie charred aubergines in his homemade pizza oven to mix with garlic and yogurt to make his own baba ganoush. And he cooked Lebanese bread in the pizza oven. Meanwhile, next door in Rosemary's kitchen, she and her friend Jill were preparing the salads. Everything except the lamb that was still in the fire pit was served up as a splendid feast for the neighbours. but I was whisked away to the Silo Estate Winery for a wine tasting with owner Raj. And then we were back at Eddie's with the lunch guests who were still waiting for their last dish to arrive.
Alright, we're just gonna dig it out. But I don't know if something in there.
No, it might be just a puddle of fat and 2 bones.
I know. Yeah, could be. Alright, is that what we were fighting for?
Have you got it out?
Yeah.
Well done.
And then there was the great unveiling of the wonderful lamb.
So there's a portion of this wonderful succulent lamb that spent 5.5 hours in the fire pit. The simplest way of cooking you could think of. Wonderful ingredients, beautifully prepared by Eddie, and lots of patient people waiting for their last bit of their meal today.
It's been buried under the ground.
A truly memorable day of cooking a magnificent feast in Australian drizzle. Next time I'm in Melbourne with fellow blind cook Maribel, who sings as well.